because he always used that anti-red line defending.
I think it's like.
Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Shoots, he lines it, he's not going to do it, he shoots. Get out of the keeper, man. Live forward. Energy, people, energy. Let's go. People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope everybody's doing well and safe, whoever you are, wherever you are. Good afternoon to those of you like myself who are in the UK. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. In some cases, good night. One love to the Twitch gang and whatnot. You know, worst kept secret. I prefer you guys. You lot are my favorites. I'm not going to sit here and be disrespectful to YouTube because you lot made me what I am. But Twitch are my favorites. You lot can behave yourselves. The engagement's there. The moderators do way more of a shift. Shout all the moderators, the followers, the subscribers, and all of those things. One love to everybody who was supporting my last 2 live streams on YouTube. I had to look after the Twitch gang and things like that. And, you know, obviously we're getting towards the weekend. Not sure what games, but you will get a Twitch watch along as well as Arsenal doing their thing because we're trying to get towards 50,000 YouTube subscribers. And we're trying to move towards, you know, 2K on this very platform. I think we've got 1.7. We're moving fast, we're moving rapid. So if you haven't followed or subscribed and all of those good things, you need to, people, because you're missing things out. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope everyone's good. You know, shout out to everyone in the comments and whatnot. You know, Tarn's appreciative, Boogie Bandit appreciative, AM appreciative, you know, Maps drop off. I can never say your name, but you're always here as well. Tino, it goes without saying. So we've got the usual members now. I hope you're all excited, Arsenal fans or fans in general, because we've made some signings. We need a goalie. We signed a goalie. Who knows? You know, if you connect the dots and Leno is to leave either this season or next year, you know, surely you're going to have to find a backup keeper. Now, whether that's someone better than Ramsdale or someone that's a backup to Ramsdale, that is down for Ramsdale to decide, but that's something for the club to realize. And obviously, if I'm the technical director, Edu, obviously the way we're moving, it could mean that you might struggle to even be here next year, but you need to find a backup keeper. You need to spend a year finding someone that is better than Ramsdale, so Ramsdale can be the number 2, or what I believe, and a lot of you lot feel, he's actually number 2. He's actually number 1. So can you find a number 2? Technical director, after all. You know, every year that we don't bring in a striker, the question mark as to how you replace Aubameyang and or Lacazette gets bigger and bigger. I already said, when Aubameyang signed that initial deal, you should have known what strikers am I looking at. Am I looking at Karim Adeyemi? Am I looking at Isaac? Cool, I'm not going to buy him this year because he's talented, but I don't really think he's levels right now, or Vlahovic or whatever. I'm not going to move for them right now. In the next 2 years, you could, you know, the 2 years that followed that new deal, forgive me if I'm wrong, or a year at least, or that 3-year period now, you sit there and you go, do you know what, Arteta? Aubameyang and Lacazette, they're looking a bit shaky. It's now time to bring in a forward and all of those sort of things. So it makes sense. So for me, it's just about the foresight and learning from hindsight. And for me, as much as the jury's out on Mikel Arteta, it's on the technical director, Edu. You know, this was our plans. We didn't wake up. We could have, and things happened, but we didn't wake up today and said, cool, we're going for Odegaard, we're going for Ramsdale, Tavares, this, that, and the other. These lot has to have done their due diligence, done their scouting, whittled down the list. Who knows? Ramsdale might have not even been first choice. We're trying to get that keeper. We can't get him. We're getting Ramsdale. My point being, we've done our due diligence. So I hope that we've taken heed of that situation and we see some fruits to that labor, really, really and truly. But Edu needs to, well, what should I call that time stuff? Edu needs to find another keeper ASAP, because he does. You know, Arthur Okonkwo and Carl Hine, they might step up into a third or second choice capacity. If we're real with ourselves, you need someone better than Ramsdale or levels, because why else are you going to bring the next one in? It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen this season, because it's a World Cup year and I'm sure Leno wants to go. I'm sure Leno will probably go regardless of if he's, you know, if he's playing on a regular basis, because he's a sideman for Germany. Let's be honest, you know, he's not first choice. Neuer's going to be first choice. Neuer's going to be first choice. You've obviously got Ter Stegen, who's better than him, and then you've got Leno, so he probably will go. But do you really want to go into the World Cup with in poor condition? Probably not. So we've got to make a choice. I'm not going to lie to you. Whoever's the best keeper should be the one to start. But without seeing Ramsdale kick a ball for Arsenal. I more want to side with Ramsdale because he wants to be here. He wants to try and tie into the long term. Leno doesn't. Leno kind of thinks you're doing him a favor, you know. Obviously, you want Ivor to keep pushing, and I'm not an idiot. Leno is probably going to still be the number one until something happens. But you lot get the point. I'm trying to see, you know, I'm trying to see what we're doing. So does Edu, the technical director, have that logic to say, cool, we've signed the keeper, but we need to go for another one, in the sense of, you know, next season we might still rub out Xhaka. What's going on with the midfield? What's going on with the strike force? Are we looking at a right back? Because we're told that, you know, we're trying to do this thing for Trippier. We're told that we might be trying to do this and that and the other. If we cannot bring a right back in this summer, can you say, cool, we're going to try and sort out the futures of Cedric, Maitland-Niles and Chambers, and then we're going to go for a right back. We might have to go in January. We might have to give it a year, but that's who we want. I don't know, people. Only they know, truthfully, and hopefully we can see better than that, man. But it is what it is in that regards, folks, man. One love to the 10 of you that are locked in here. Tough crowd. But we keep building regards. And shout out to everyone who's watching this on the rerun eventually on YouTube. So it is what it is, man. The man said, catch flights, not feelings. This weekend is going to be a madness, bro. Do you know what? I'm hoping that Lukaku doesn't score. I'm hoping that, you know, Chelsea do not smack us up. But I mean, if you had to bet money, you can't look anything past that, really and truly. And it is going to be a madness. I hope these boys really have been focusing, you know, because I don't want to say the same question I said last Friday. What have you lot been working on? It's not a work. It still is a question of what are you working on in pre-season. But what have you been working on this week? Because I don't feel you necessarily need to look at that Brentford game to learn. You obviously do. But what we've been seeing, definitely in the last two pre-season games against our London rivals, Chelsea and Spurs, we knew that was to come, people, you know. That was to actually come. So again, have we learned from our mistakes? We didn't learn from our mistakes against Chelsea and then apply them against Spurs. We didn't learn from our mistakes against Spurs and then apply them in the first game of a season against Brentford. You know, again, if we cannot realize that this is the first game at home, this is a big game against Chelsea, you know, for obvious reasons, everybody connected with Chelsea in any capacity, and vice versa with Arsenal, the sentiment is different. Even the most positive of Arsenal fan is going to look pessimistic to a Chelsea man, and that's rightly so, because they're moving serious, we're not. And obviously, you know, it's almost, I don't want it to look like a home debut. You know, big up the fans as well. You all know the fans are going to be there, but I don't want it to look like a home debut for Lukaku. We're not the loudest and most threatening of atmospheres. We're already feeling sorry for ourselves. We're already extremely naive. Everyone and their nan would probably bet their every penny on Chelsea to win this against Arsenal. So don't make it any easier. Lukaku probably assume, I don't think he is because his mentality is good, but I think he's going to turn up and, you know, want to score 2-3 goals and endear himself to the Chelsea fans. What better way to sign yourself than to mash up Arsenal again? Like you want to be like Jogba. That's what Jogba, among many things, was good at, smacking up Arsenal. I hope it's an overkill. I hope Arsenal want to be the villains, but we didn't want to be the villains against Brentford. Shout out to Brentford and their story to get into this league, but we didn't want to turn up and spoil the party. We gave them a fantastic evening. So I hope we can spoil it for Chelsea. Minimum, I hope that we can just, you know, if we are to lose to Chelsea, lose with some honor, you know. The better team won. We did, you know, not the numerous self-imploding sort of stuff. I don't want to sit here dedicating an hour to a post-match live reaction, speaking on the watch-along about self-imploding, because you look at it. I mean, we can see it, people. You lot are smart. You're not stupid. That's why you're here. One love to everyone. Make sure you're following and subscribing. Tactically, we know Chelsea are very good on the counter. We know they're a very good possession-based side. You know, you go back to one of Arteta's very first games against Chelsea. They obviously play different, but that counter-attack was still there. Like, that's how we lost it in the last 15. You know, they play a very high line. Their centre-halves want to get onto the ball. So these are naiveties that we're going to get suffocated in midfield. So what is our midfield going to do? Fullbacks need to be switched on. The counter-attack, defense and that midfield needs to be spot on. We can't afford to get caught napping on the transition. All you need to do is look at Chelsea versus Arsenal in the game. I was about to say Emirates Cup. It weren't even Emirates Cup, the Mind Games Cup. And I want to be respectful because that was for mental health and things like that. The only thing that cost Chelsea, or not even cost them, they could have made the scoreline look even madder, was they couldn't finish. They've now got Lukaku. So I see a lot of tactical naiveties, not so much in Arteta, in the players. I don't think the players are taking heed. You know, it's everybody's fault and whatnot, but it's a bit of an issue, man. And, you know, to be fair to you, the one time we have looked quite half decent is when we have to be proactively reactive. You know, I want to see us spoil the party, but Chelsea, if you're Chelsea, if I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'm sitting there and saying our season starts today. You know, obviously on Sunday, because Palace it weren't. You know, that was still pre-season for them. Not that Arsenal was any different, but they turned up and just battered it up really and truly. And they're going to be raring to go. Obviously, the Brentford game probably took a lot out of us physically as well. So all I want to do is, if you lose to the better team. Don't let us sit here and talk about self-imploding. The mentality weren't there. I don't want to sit here and talk about we was good for the first 20, then we messed it up. The first 20, we went 2-0 down. Then after that, you know, the final scoreline is 3-2, and we sit here and say, what about the first 10 and 20? This is not youth football. This is not little kiddies football. This is not under 12s. You lot are grown men, and I don't like to use that term because obviously women support the game and whatnot. But in terms of football, you're grown adults. Better yet, there's certain things we should have. There's certain things we should have assured of. You know, there's certain things as an adult in life you should be able to speak. You should be able to do handling the obvious, handling your business in a footballing sense. The stuff that I expect from the kids at this club are not doing it. You know. Balogun didn't have it was anonymous against Sheffield, but I'm not sitting here and asking things because I see a man ran himself ragged and tried within his limitations. You know, I hope listen. You lot made a big song and dance about playing at home. It's not going to be nice at home if you lot continue with what you're doing. You know, it's the environment can become toxic, and I'm sure Arsenal fans don't want that. And also on top of that, the players need to ignore it. And the fans will support you, but we need to remember there is talk of a protest. So you're going to have that protest. You're going to have the connotations we spoke about. You need to stand up to be counted. The time for talking has long been done. You know, there's too much lip service. Let your talking play on the field, because the same ones that do very little talking, they talk on the field also. Certain guys give it all the big and off the field. On the field, they look like little mouses. So we're going to have to see a lot develop in that regards. One love to everybody who's locked in. Let me make that a timestamp. Arsenal versus Chelsea opinions. You just call it that because I'll clip that up and that will come out for you YouTube folks. Sorry, folks. Actually, it's not the fan today. It's more the light above me. The light above me is cutting up my headpiece, people. I can't lie to you. And I'm not even that tall. So, you know, if it's hitting me, there's an issue. So, yeah, extended the poll pause a bit. So, yeah, man, before I carry on, what are you lot saying, though, man? I just had to get that off my chest. Obviously, we'll get into a couple of other things. Please, can one of the moderators in good time as well, can one of you set up a poll and say if we, something along the lines of we spent 100 million. In fact, better yet, has Arteta been backed this window? That's it. Because I'd love to know you lots of opinions. But one love to everybody locked in. Like I said, man, my morning's been good, Tino, as it always is, man. I've done hella content. Shout out to Ransom Matisse, who was with them on Twitch earlier. One love to you lot that was also there as well. You know, you lot are a pleasure to sit here and listen to and speak to and all these sort of things as well. So it's always good, man. I'm a bit lagging now. I'm a bit tired, admittedly, because I've been up since... I had a bit of a lie-in today, 5:45. So, yeah. Coffee, and I don't think you can see it. I like my coffee like some of you baby mums like your men. Dark and black. Pause. But you get the point, man. Big up CFC's finest. You know, we're going to be enemies for about 90 minutes, but I appreciate your consistent support. CP, well, you said big up DG, appreciative. You said been following for a few months now, and you're the man, highly underrated. My guy, I appreciate that. You know, hopefully one day we won't be underrated forever, but you know, everybody gets their time, man. If I had £1 for every time I heard that. Man said Arsenal should go in for Lewandowski. He is quality, bro. He is, but Arsenal, that's a myth. Like, I'm not even going to entertain it. Yo, DG, hope you and your family are well and healthy. And I would like to throw that one back at you. I hope yours is doing better. And I hope everyone listening, you know, everybody's got their health. Everybody's good. So what have we got to complain about, man? Everyone's in a good mental space as well. My man is killing me. Team MMA, DG. I saw Rants and them man cooking you. You know, I tried to go down fighting, but yeah, man, it's okay, G. It will get better, God willing. Lol. I'm fasting today, but I think you man are more hungry than me. Keep grinding, G. We need to see that Thai collab. And by the way, he doesn't run his socials, his management or something does. I mean, then I don't know how to reach out to Thai then if he doesn't run his socials. But yeah, why not get something like that going, man? Appreciate everybody, man. What are you saying, Bert, man? Big up DG. Love and blessings from Perth, Western Australia. One love to the Aussies out there. Trying hard to be hopeful about the coming season. Always appreciate your research and opinions. One love, my guy. And, you know, again, like I said, I've got blind optimism because I just feel if the mentality was there, I think no matter what, how many things go against this club, we could do something in it. But it's not there within the context of the mentality being frail, within the context of multiple inconsistencies and all of these things. It's not that I'm saying you need to be negative, but I can't find something positive. You know, the young players are the young players. You know, I'm positive about them and all those sort of things. We know we're going to get 5 or 6 games a season. Well, maybe less because we're not in Europe. We'll probably get 3, 4 games where in the league where we might have pulled some surprises. Hopefully Sunday. And what I call batting winning wars, because at the end of the, our away form was better last season. I know the home form was bad, but our away form was good. We took 4 points off United, better performances against Liverpool, even though ultimately he didn't do what needed to be done, beat Chelsea. But that's what I call winning battles, because again, I'm sure I would trade all of that if it meant Arsenal even getting Europa League, top 4 and all of these things. And, you can say you beat them teams. Chelsea are European champions. United got Champions League and all of these other things, people. Yeah, we came back against Leicester. Them man are ahead of us, Yeah, we came back against West Ham. Them man had a better season than us. So it's not really meaning much. There's a lot that needs to improve at this club, man. So I'm trying to be hopeful, but it's almost, you look at Arsenal. I look at Arsenal as much as a fan, and I thought this mainly last season because of pre-season. It's like things are being done the same way and we're expecting different stuff. Like it doesn't make sense. And I know you're within the context. I know you're not. I want to be hopeful, but for me, it comes down to the mentality, and it comes down to how much these players want it and how much Arteta wants to learn from his mistakes. So far, I haven't seen anything to suggest differently. What they can start to prove me wrong is show me a team that's learned their lessons from the direct playing Chelsea in pre-season. Because you can just watch that. I want you to watch Brentford with Chelsea in mind. But I want you to watch that game and look at it and think about the nonsense you was doing, as well as the threats from Chelsea, and think how much they will hurt you. Same way when we play Spurs in a couple of weeks, I want you lot to look at that game, because the post saved you bare. You lot would have got rubbed out. You lot Chelsea and Spurs could have had 10 goals apiece in that game, innit? So I can't be surprised. We've now gone on to we've gone into Brentford and the shambles. I know there's injuries to key players and we've been dealt a short hand, but I'm not being funny. I'm not really being funny. We know these things are things that can happen in the Premier League season. Injuries are part and parcel. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't make our case harder. It doesn't make us weaker, but you get the point. We know we're going into it. There's a million reasons not to have any hope. As a footballer, you should think of the one reason for. The spine of the team that I believe in isn't there. There's no Gabriel. There's no Partey. There's no right back that I believe in at the club for 38 games. Aubameyang and Lacazette are not in form, but they might not even be playing in the game. Odegaard, you're hearing he's progressing his medical. He probably won't, he's waiting on a visa and that. He might not get that one over the line. Ramsdale will be on the bench and whatnot, allegedly. So there's a lot, but too much lip service. And again, anytime we sit here and we speak about the 7 names max that we think are 30 and can be part of this club and get it, bro, you meant 7, 7 versus 25, what's more likely to reflect the mentality sort of thing. It's crazy, but let's hope that there's more to come, man. Let's hope that there's more to come. But yeah, man, where we at in terms of voting, people? One love to whoever made the poll out of the moderators. Where we at so far? Has Arteta been back? There's 3 options. Yes, but money used poorly. But he's used the money, him and Edu, no? Anyways, yes, but money's poorly. No, he has not. Yes, without a doubt. So far, 71% are saying yes, but the money's used poorly. So to play devil's advocate, if you obviously, let me know if you did vote that. It doesn't matter. But surely he's sanctioning them. It does feel like it's gone away from the M rating in that he's a head coach. You might want a centre mid. You might ask for Partey. We might bring you Torreira or Nzonzi or something, and you have to make do. And I don't get twisted. There's still an element of that with Mikel, with Marie, I feel. It feels like he's more of a collaboration. Obviously, Emre had a hand, but it feels like he's got a direct hand. I do think Edu, naturally, technical director, manager, will probably overrule him. But, a new contract is not being sanctioned by the technical director and the man who deals the contracts if Arteta says no, Ramsdale, again, I'm sure people internally, bro, with respect to Ramsdale, if you've got concerns about Aouar and Shabozla, you're going to have concerns about Odegaard and Ramsdale. You said you want them. You lot have collaborated and said you wanted them. So I need to see some change in that regards, if I'm completely honest with you. Like, there's no way around it. Like, I think Arteta has been backed. He undoubtedly has. I don't think he's been backed to the scale. And I'm not even just talking about money. I don't think we've given every potential condition for this man to thrive at this football club. But I mean, if you've been allowed to, and again, can we set up a new poll again? When that poll's done, can we run up a new poll? What should we call the new poll? I just lost it. Hold off on that. But I wanted to ask you, like, how can it's something along the lines of he spent 100 million? How can he not be backed? You know, because again, surely people, again, I forgot it. Don't leave the poll. I'll think of the next one. But surely, let me flip it on its head. If you've been allowed to spend 100 million where Arsenal are meant to be broke, and these are not broke, like, let's be honest, like, it's like shopping. If you spend 100 million in Sainsbury's, £100 in Sainsbury's, you want to see that there's a decent amount of stuff. If I'm coming back with 2-3 items, unless they're electronics, you're asking me what's going on, sort of thing. You know, so arguably we've been wasting money at a time where we can't. You know, arguably, can you look at that and say we spent 100+ million worth of talent? You know, surely it's even more reason to be harsh on him, because surely he's been backed in the sense of, yeah, you're a novice manager, but you've said what we're led to believe, you want Ben White. So despite the fact he's played one season in the league, no matter how good he's been doing, what he's done at Leeds, what he's done on loan, we're going to grab him. You want Ramsdale, yeah? We don't know why, but you want Ramsdale? Cool, you're getting Ramsdale. You wanted Odegaard? Cool, you're getting Odegaard. You know, Lokonga, say nothing. We're bringing them in. The only one I'll give him the luxury of is Tavares, because I think Tavares was a you know, I think he spoke about it in an interview on Arsenal.com. He said the analytical teams alerted them. Now, clearly, the mandate was to find a backup left back. They found Tavares. It was cheap. It was easy. He's of the age profile. All of these things tied in. Couple signings are going to be like that, kind of like Martinelli. And whatnot, people. Interesting story. Martinelli got his chance because he worked very hard in that pre-season. He signed. He was initially meant to be part of the 23s, and he blew Arsenal coaching staff away with his intensity and training. That's a true story. But yeah, man, like, how can you say he's not being backed? Like, again, when I say backed, again, I don't think he's been given all conditions. He's inherited a mess. I don't think Edu is doing his job in terms of getting players off. And in these next 2 weeks, we're going to see. You're seeing Torreira is back in the UK. You know, apparently Maitland-Niles, Bellerin, maybe even Lacazette, there might be some progress. But, you know, this is, as much as it's Arteta, you know, if Arteta doesn't want these players, for me personally, people, you're not going to say, you know, these are the players, because think about it. You finish 8th again. You know there's pressure on you. You know it's not going to be easy. If you do not believe in these players that they're bringing in, you're going to say something. If you're not saying something, that's because you're willing to work with it. Whether that's because you don't want to leave because you know you got a good gig here going for yourself at Arsenal. Whether that's, you know, you're on the Wenger thing where you're blindly defending people, or that you're condoning this. There's an issue, because if it's my job, I'm going to lose it. Same way, if I'm playing players that are not serious and we're not getting 3 points, it's my job that's going to get lost. Arteta might get sacked by December. Xhaka signed a new deal. Who would probably need to leave first? If you know, pretty sure I'd let Xhaka go before Arteta, really, you know. You've got to look at it. So if Edu is pissing about, pardon my language, you've got to make a problem. This is why I think you've got a major problem, you know, and you've got to make something happen. This is why I feel there's no excuses. Last summer, I think he was a joke. You know, I think him and Edu, to a degree, they were kind of done dirty. You know, I do think he's collaborated this summer. I think he's been backed. I'm sorry, but, you know, and I'm not expecting fireworks, but I'm expecting to see a system. A lot of these players, some more exciting than others, nobody is in full potential. You look at Odegaard, say what you want about him. He's 23. There's a lot more to come. Say what you want about Ramsdale. There's a lot more to come. Lokonga, Tavares, Smith, you know, even the ones that are here already, Smith Rowe, Saka, Gabriel, who you brought in, Ben White, who you've brought in one season, 23 years of age. These players can improve. They do provide longevity, but just because Ben White might be a full England international first name on the team sheet sort of guy, you know, Ramsdale the same, and other examples, tomorrow doesn't mean that we don't need to work today. And I feel with football today, but it's all about potential. People fail to understand, yeah, you might be a star tomorrow, but what are you doing step by step? You know, Ronaldo is an amazing footballer, but how many days, years, months, whatever did he spend, you know, running up and down, doing the Rocky thing, jumping up and down like a madman and jumping higher and higher and higher and higher, and all of those sort of things. It's the building blocks that are put into place. So we'll have to see what happens, man. But surely this is now Arteta's team, man. This is Arteta's team. He's frozen out. He wants to froze in. I don't think there's a player he's forced to use. He wasn't even forced to use Leno. What player is he forced to use? Bellerin wants to go. Whether Bellerin can Bellerin tell your agent to do their job, it's not always the club, but whether his agent or people are interested is another one. You know, you haven't forced it out. You allegedly want Bellerin, Chambers, Cedric to stay. You probably want Maitland to stay. This is your team. What player is he under duress? At least with Emre, and I'm not saying Emre should have stayed, but there's not one player you look at and say he's forced to deal with. You know, it seems like he gets his targets. Obviously, you know, man might try Madison and Madison didn't work, so you get Odegaard. Let's not act like Odegaard's a scrub. Let's not act like that's not a good tool available. When you're being dealt them Marie cards and all of those sort of things, I can understand it. Them man, they are limited, you know, but apparently you wanted Ramsdale. Again, if he didn't and papers aligned, that's a different thing. But if you wanted Ramsdale, if you wanted Odegaard, if you wanted Ben White, if you wanted Tavares, if you wanted Lokonga, you know, you've got to show something, because as I keep saying, we need new players. You know, there's many things wrong, but you can't escape the element of coaching. Whether he gets amazing players or players at his disposal, you have to get something out of them coaching. And I feel for every one or two blighs you can give Arteta, there's 3 or 4 things where you're like, oh, what's going on there? What's that about? What's this? What's that? And the third. So, boy, man, it's an interesting one, and we'll have to see, man. We really will have to see. Boy, one love to the 100 odd people that are locked in. Please make sure you're following, subscribing, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, man. Smoking them flavors and DG. What's better? CP. I don't know what that is, but do that for me as well, man. One love. It's Thursday already. Arsenal game is soon. I'm scared we should win, but it's Arsenal. You'll always somehow get a result. Farid, I don't think it's that thing today, man. I don't, man. These men are just mad. DG, don't you think our team, except from Ben White, is basically the same as last year, which is worrying me? Well, yeah, yeah. You know, I came into this summer thinking, yo, I'm not expecting fireworks, but you know, Xhaka said Xhaka needed to be replaced anyways. But I'm thinking, yo, like Xhaka said he wants to leave. I wanted the midfield tied up. We might get a partner for Partey. I was of the thing, all right, cool. You're getting this 8.5. Lokonga can come do his thing and learn from Partey, big bro, little bro. Centre half. Admittedly, I was a fan of Ben White, but I wasn't sitting here and saying bye Ben White. But cool, you know what? There's potential. I hear it, you know. But again, we're not evidently a better team. And for me, again, even if you was to sign the superstars, Pogba, Neymar, Messi, all of these guys, I'd still be worried because there's no system. I don't see what system these players are fitting into. I haven't seen a certified defensive system to say, yo, all right, cool, Ben White is going to take this upper level. Like you saw with Liverpool, you could see at a point, cool, they get a better centre half, you know, that guy out, Van Dijk in, that keeper out, Allison in. You can see what's going on. I don't really see that. It is the same team. And for me, same individuals, bar Ben White and the obvious, same mentality. Come on now. Like, is anything going to change? You know, obviously it's only been one season, it's been one game. But that's my challenge to the players. You've lost this first week, you have to hold your L. What do you want people to say in week 38? There's many different stories. Seize your future. Really want it, because I don't think they want it enough. I don't. You know, I think some of you are going to look back in your footballing careers and think I could have done more. I could have given it enough. I think some of you don't have a conscience, and I think some of you lot's conscience eats you alive. That's why you lot play scared. I don't think you lot all have the mentality though, man. It's mad. The man said, watch the last stream on YouTube. Intro is banging. DG's gone Hollywood. Don't forget our small fries. Never gone Hollywood. One love to the Twitch gang and the YouTube gang. Shout out to Little Nitty. I don't know if he actually takes in the Twitch content, but you know, him, Sky, to all of these guys have been doing good technical things for me. Tino as well. You know, there's names I'm not saying. A lot of you do good things, man. Like, I really appreciate it. You know, especially you ones that are good with the computer business and all them things, man, because technology is not my thing, man. But anyways, moving forward, what else are you lot saying, man? If we're honest, the signings we've made for depth and rotation for big game players like Partey and KT, I expect I keep saying Mesut Ozil, Martin Odegaard, because that brother is getting slapped into the starting 11. Facts, you know, the rest are just complementary squad players with scope to grow. That's cool. That's fine, you know. I just hope you get in these Aouars and all these things, but he's been linked with Spurs. We'll crack on with that soon, man. I think outgoings is a big thing I'm very scared of as well, because we all knew we're in catch-22 in that, you know, we couldn't really let people go, probably in Joe Willock and maybe Xhaka's case without finding replacements. We couldn't bring in people without selling. We knew selling was imperative. If you forget Arteta, just the finances of the club and the health, and the more we keep, you know, fucking about and not being in Europe and not being in champs and whatnot, you know, you're gonna feel this. You know, there's no way around it. Barcelona tried to escape certain things. Arsenal are feeling it, and we will feel it. So I would have thought there would have been more of an urge. Of course, it's easier said than done. You know, I'll give him that blight. We know the market we're in, but to see no significant sales annoys me. And I'm being kind of harsh because Joe Willett went, but you know, these are players that obviously you have to want to buy players that are decent in it, but Joe Willock's not going to struggle with getting an offer. Now, Arsenal probably still got short change, could have probably got less, but he's not going to struggle. Guendouzi's not going to struggle. Saliba will get loan offers. You know, it's that Torreira, again, these Torreiras and these ones, I get offers, but maybe not what we want. This is where I want to see you work your magic. The Torreiras, the Williams, the Kolasinacs, you know, these are the sort of guys that need to be sort of gone, you know. Again, make a decision because we're still here with, you know, in a couple of months, Reece Nelson can talk to clubs for free. What's going on with him? We heard Eddie's leaving. Of course, the injury has done something. You know, Maitland-Niles, we've not really, you know, Maitland, I thought he would be one of the first futures solved because he went out on loan. He spoke, you lot all saw the interview because we spoke about it. I need to see what Edu and Arteta are saying. I've heard no clarity. You know, maybe he's been told something. Maybe it's a watershed moment in that, you know what, I'm contracted to Arsenal. I'm professional. I'm training. I'm on the bench, but there's a move getting patterned. I don't know what's going on. You know, there's too many players that you can make a case to stay and to make a case to go, and you don't really know what's going on. And we didn't get here overnight. I'm not expecting everything to be done, but it's like I wanted to just look back, and I still might. I wanted to be able to look back and say, you know what, Edu, I take my hat off to you. You've done your job now. Because now I can't get at Arteta. You know, as much as I can get at Arteta because I feel he's been backed because he wanted these players, I can still sit here and say, really, are these players we're going to take you to the next level? Ultimately, though, regardless of that, these lot, no one put a gun to their heads to take these respective positions at Arsenal. They still did it. So it is what it is in that regards, people. I can't lie. My head is getting hot. I need a haircut. Well, it is what it is. Don't even know my hat was on, but we go again. We go again. Good opinions, man. I feel the issue hasn't been our incomings. It's been the lack of outgoings to fund and free up wages for better/more incoming. Kind of touching on what I'm saying. That's kind of where I'm going to as well, man. First needs to establish and prove himself at a lesser Premier League club like Lukaku did at Everton. Who are you speaking about there, bro? Because obviously we spoke about a lot. I want to see Arteta winning this tactical battle. I want to see this process man are talking about. AM is on to him still. I appreciate that though. And you're right, man. But we can't keep blurring the waters, my guy, you know. Backed with signings on paper, yes. Big enough signings, no. I mean, but say we bought Maddison. I can't deal with it, but say you bought Maddison and he's 60, 70 million, man are not performing, you know. What am I going to say then? At the end, I know it's not his signing, but Pepe cost 70 odd million. What's going on there? You know, 50 million on Ben White for one season. How can we not say that's not a big signing? I hear you. I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate. How can we sit here and say Ben White's not a big signing? He might not have a massive stature in football. He might not be one of the biggest in the Premier League, but that's not the question we're being asked. How can he not be? He's 50 odd M's on that. You know, I'm pretty sure there's more established. No, it's not exactly the true cost and there's wages and stuff, but Varane went for cheaper or similar. And no, it's not the same. You know, there's other variables, but you get it. And also for me, bigger than the names is, are we spending right? And time will tell. And like I said, crucially, whether I believe it or not, we're told these are Arteta signings and who we wanted. We're always going to be told that, but at face value, that's what we're told. So regardless if I think they're big enough or whatever, there's an issue there, you know. And you're right, the dead wood. And that's where I'm at, Edu, man. That's where I'm at, Edu. You're right still, but I got to play devil's advocate, my guy. That's what you lot love. That's why you lot love the content, isn't it? One love to everyone locked in, man. Don't tell them YouTube ones, but you guys are my favorites. This transfer window has been dead, not for incomings, but players have to be sold for this team to improve. Facts, facts, and facts. Surely Arteta has now been back. Sorry, folks, just have to remember the time zone, man. Yeah, I drink coffee the same way. Got to clean that liver. I didn't even know that's what coffee did still, but yeah, man, one love to that. 200 M's in 2 years in the COVID market. Yes, he has been back. Should we actually the signings Arsenal have made? Because on one hand, I feel he's been back, but I also think he's been shagged. Like I feel the last comment, like, bro, these man are not levels. Like, let's be real. Bare man that have come to this club are not levels. They're nothing near levels. They, you know, I'm not trying to, let me not be rude in it. They're just not levels. But at the same time, like you said, the numbers, bro. He sounds like a bit of a spoiled kid. 200 M's. You know, certain man were having to get Socrates and Licksteiner and all of these sort of things. Yeah, Tini was there, Pepe was there, you know. And again, things might be different, but and again, they're similar players, but the same things are held accountable to Emre. You know, he wanted Zaha, you got Pepe. You still got to get a tune out of it, but just to the basis, you didn't get what we wanted. We hear you wanted Ramsdale, you got Ramsdale. Now the things are different, but you get the point. You know, 200 M's. And again, like, you know, everybody's right. We spunked that money stupidly, but he has sanctioned some of these things. He wanted to work with Marie, having known him since the City time. At some point, he could have said no. I know he might be crippled, but he's a manager. You know, when Renison came in, well, someone had to have watched. If you didn't watch, if Arteta, if Edu, if that goalkeeping coach, if they didn't watch 10 games from that individual at least, yeah, and then made their opinion, even if they did that, because they still deserve to sign him, there's an issue. You can watch 30 seconds, forget 10 games, and know he's not levels. Fair enough, any keeper's better than none. But he brought him in. Then he decided to throw him in of all games against Man City. It's a bit concerning. But let's see Arsenal signings 2020-21, because again, I can't lie, man. I'm here and I forget bare man signed for this club. I cannot lie to you. Sorry, folks. Let me actually want to see. Is there a way on transfer mark to see? Wait, let me see. Mikel Arteta signings. There must be a way on transfer mark to see purchase players and all those sort of things that he's done, man. You know, you've only been at one club, broski. All right, cool. You can for sure. I think you can still. Big up transfer mark for this one. Let me go on detailed. And again, it's not just the big money signings. Like, again, every little counts. You know, just because you got someone for free or for cut price don't mean they're not expensive. As you lot know with this transfer business, you lot see. But yeah, and crucially, like you said, Villa, a COVID market. Don't get it twisted. I think the mismanagement of funds is beyond our tech. I'm not just blaming him for that, but you are the manager. This is who we got, bro. You got Partey. You know, I think Partey's a great player. Have we seen much change out of Partey? Has he been managed the right way? Have we seen him grow? Have we seen anything to suggest you're going to see a better Partey on the basis of the midfield pivot and what we say that he needs a better man next to him? Now, the window isn't closed. Gabriel, you know, have we seen? We know he's a young and very raw centre half, much like Ben White. It seemed like when the going got hard, you took him out of there. We know Marie initially came in with a loan and it was going to be made permanent, but he asked for Marie. Apparently, we wanted the left-sided centre half. That was something put on his table. Now, to be fair, if it's that or nothing, I get taking it. But he's chosen to put, you know, to send Saliba out on loan and give Marie opportunities. I'm just throwing things out there. But at the end of the day, he's the manager who allowed Renison to be brought in. Cedric Suarez came in. We don't know what's going on with there. You look at half of these signings, they haven't been good enough by some standard, but you know, you feel disillusioned. Partey, you didn't get a partner or address the midfield for him to thrive. The same goes defensively for Gabriel. Marie was nothing more than a squad player. Renison was never ever levels. Cedric, he spoke about how he's the best in the final third. Arsenal failed to create, take, or score chances. Fullbacks are crucial. Why is he not playing? I'm not saying he shouldn't play. I'm just asking a question. You know, Willian, let's move on before I get angry. You know, he's not. I don't know why Saliba's there. He's not in charge of Saliba. You know, he did choose to keep El Nene. You know, he did choose to keep Nketiah. These are not new signings. You know, again, these are not new signings. But again, there's therefore more than this. I mean, Ramsdale and Thingy are not going to be there. Tavares, all of these things, you know. So again, we'll switch it up a bit. But as you lot can see here, you know, he's been, you know, he got to bring in Partey. Emre wanted Partey. You got him. You got Gabriel. You've got a new centre half in Ben White. You got Cedric. You know, you got Marie. You got Renison. You got half of these men. And if we flick it over and whatnot, and we look at arrivals for this year, you know, some have returned from loans, but you got Ben White, 50 million. Allegedly, that was our number one target. You've got a backup left back. You've got another centre mid in Lokonga, you know, and there's time will tell what's going on. Like I said, we need to sort out the futures of Torreira and whatnot. But he's been given, you know, at what point do we say this is Mikel Arteta's squad, man? You know, at what point, people, is this Arteta's team? Do I think it's Arteta's team tactically? Do I think it's Arteta's team in terms of his mentality? Do I think this is his image? Do I think he's short-handed by some of these players' mentalities as much as he makes mistakes and I criticize him? Of course. But at one point, does this become Mikel Arteta's team? Because he, I get a real sense of a failed sense of urgency. Let's be serious. He's going into his second season. We might as well say he's been here for 2 years and a half based on when he took over towards the end of the season before. At what point is this a reflection of him? Because when we win, rightly so, he gets a lot of praise. But why we lose, the same players that might have helped us beat Chelsea, if they go and fuck up against Norwich or something, pardon my language, why would we praise Arteta for that? Not saying he doesn't or doesn't deserve that, but then he takes no blame for the defeat, because I don't think, among the obvious, I think the way we performed in Europe last year is down to Arteta. I don't want to sound like a negative nanny, but the same way we went out to Villarreal is the same way we played in every game post-group stages. The difference is we was patting in the second legs. Missed the Europa League and it didn't bang. But at what point does this become Mikel Arteta's team? Like I said, I don't think it's the team he wants in his image. I think there's a lot of bad apples. But if he's the one saying, I want you gone, I want you in, you can stay, you get a new deal, you're part of my plans, whether we rate these players or not, at what point is this Mikel Arteta's football team, people? And if it's not, then what's he here for? Because he's been here for a minute. And I don't want to become a selling club. I'm just calling things as I see it. Just because I might be in favored or against someone doesn't mean I'm going to attack or praise them. My only loyalty is Arsenal. I don't care if Arteta leaves. I don't care if he stays. Well, obviously, you get where I'm going. I would prefer him to get it going and whatnot. But I don't agree with just saying empty statements, trust the process, all of this, if I'm not seeing anything that I agree with or see. Now, if you prove me wrong, like with these signings, if they bad it up, what do we know? We'll have to see, though, man. We have to see by what point. Surely this becomes his football club. Man said club, team, you know what I meant. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me remove the screen quick and get back into this. I wish DG supported Chelsea. The content is brilliant, but I hate Arsenal so much. Love the channel, though. I appreciate you. I hate your club too, man. You clearly got a good taste in content creators. Unfortunately, the football team ain't quite there, but we've all got problems in life. One love to you, though, my dude. One agenda might run, but we can't get caught lacking this season. Facts. Make sure you're subscribing, on Amazon Prime. Like Nightbot said, it's free and them things. Support the guys, man. One game improves nothing, 4 or 5, then it's clear, DG. Facts. And this is what I'm saying. I feel we can't. I don't feel it's one game, though. Like, I don't feel it's just one game. I feel off the back of last season, we had a lot of these things. Even our last game of last season, Crystal Palace, it papered over the cracks. Pepe towards the end of that game patterned it up. I think we started off pre-season with a bit of optimism. We was making things happen in the market. We weren't shaking up the world, but we heard we was onto Ben White early. Look, we heard Lokonga and a more experienced 8. We heard right back, man are leaving, all of these sort of things. We thought obviously we'd finish in 8th. There's a sense of urgency. So you're right. One game improves nothing. Like I said, they have to hold their licks for the first, game week 1 they've lost. But what picture do you want it to be painted in week 38? And as much as we can speak about Arteta, these players have got to clear the future, want to seize the future. But at the same time, I think it's a bit naive to just say 4 or 5 games, because if we was to beat Chelsea, City, Spurs, Norwich, all them games, I think it's papering over the cracks. Emre's run, Arteta's run. There's been runs where we've played well, won big games, gone on sequences of runs, but then, there's always something, these things always run out, whether it's a player with a purple patch or a team. I need to see more clarity. You're right, it proves nothing. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, but we need to see things along the way. All I can say, Danny, is I hope we sit here and we say, boy, we was vexed in August, September. Now we can see things. I can only call it as I see it. And, I have to be honest, Danny, man. I have to. But you're right, man. You're right. In fact, that could be another time stamp, man. One game in proves nothing. Let's go, Arsenal. So a bit of optimism. Why not, man? How much of these players are Arteta's? I want to give him the benefit of the doubt by seeing what happens over the whole season. No, bro, you get as long as you get in it. I can get onto you for the Brentford game. If you beat Chelsea, I will praise you. If you lose to City, you get where I'm going. Week to week, we see what's going on. And then, we might actually have to start doing some monthly reviews of what we're doing as a football club, really, just so we can contextualize things. But I give you the benefit of the doubt, but that doesn't mean that I'm not holding you accountable to several things. And the player thing ain't gonna wash no more, man. Man's been here for a while. He's chosen who he wants to alienate and who he doesn't. Just because you didn't buy these players doesn't mean they're not your team anymore. Because think about it logically. If you take over from my club, I've got, let's just say, prime 2015 Barcelona. Are you going to tell me you're not going to use Messi? Equally, you might not. Let's just say you rate Messi, but you don't rate Neymar. Are you going to play him? You're going to rub him out. No player is. I think we've gone past that stage now. I did think last year he's crippled. He has to play who he's got to play. He has to hold it up. The first season and a half, you have to hold it up with Mustafi. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. But these are your guys now. This is your guys. You've got Tavares. You've got Tini. Whether we hear you want a right back. We don't know that. But you have played all of these right backs. You are doing Smith Rowe false nine. This is your players now. You want to play Aubameyang on the flanks. You wanted to not play Pepe. You wanted to play Willian and sign Willian. You wanted to gas up Cedric and not use him. At what point is this not his club? Man said club, it'll never be his club or any individual's club. But at what point, this is your team now. We have to call a spade a spade. If you're underperforming, the players and you need slaps and need to wake up. Because we can't carry no one. I don't know about anyone, but I'll always praise and critique fairly or where I fit. When there's every reason to praise Arteta, I will. And I'm not making this an Arteta out campaign of things. I'm just saying, boy, Edu is looking shaky. Arteta is looking shaky. We know some of these players are piss poor, but again, who is playing them? Come on now, realistically. I know you have to kind of use what you've got, but if there's so much pressure on you, think about it. If you need to get 3 points in the weekend and there's a degree of criticism, you need to win. Are you really going to, unless there's extreme circumstances, which there might be with injuries, are you going to play man or women if you own a man or women's team? If you don't believe in them, you're not. And if you do, you're silly because you're going to lose your job. At least play the players you rate. So if it goes tits up, it's an issue. And that's something I want Arteta to learn, Carl. He's got that negative Wenger trait in that it seems like you believe in some players that are a bit sinister and they're going to do you dirty. It's mad. Appreciate you, Alex. Nah, he's been backed, but he hasn't used the bread wisely. I can take that. I voted yes, but only because I agreed less with the other two options. I don't actually think it's without a doubt. Rather, I have many, many doubts about who and how the money's being spent. That's me as well, but it just feels like murder mysteries at this club. We'll never know who is responsible for what. It just feels like Game of Thrones and everybody's fighting for power. Arteta's got his own sinister reasons for doing stuff. Edu the same. Kroenke this, denied that. It don't like everyone's on the same page sort of thing, man. Scouting is 100% key, bro. But, away from scouting, to have a good scouting network, to find players before people don't have them, what do you need? You need common sense, you need stability, you need a system, and you need proactiveness. I don't think Arsenal's problem is finding players. We hold our hands, sit on our hands, and then you start hearing there's concerns about them. What concerns you could have over Szoboszlai and Aouar, but not over Xhaka and El Nene tells you everything you need to know. There's too many blurred lines, man. If they are so confident to put up 24 plus 6 on Ramsdale, 24 million initially plus 6 million variables for no one, if anyone don't know what he's referring to, let's really see what he's about and what Arteta sees in him. I want him to be a starter by next season. Leno can leave. Same, man. I personally want Ramsdale to be the number one. I'm not gonna lie. I feel sorry for Ramsdale, man. Let's be real. This is a 23-year-old man. Man's been at Bournemouth, Sheffield United. He's getting a move to Arsenal. I know it's not the Arsenal of what it used to be, but come on now, that's a madness. And I know most fans were out here you can believe in him or not believe in him, but what many real Arsenal fans, you'll give him the bly in it, whether you rate him or not. He doesn't deserve to be personally attacked. He deserves a chance. Now, whether he messes up or not is an issue, but I want him to be number one because he's 23. For me, we're not told he's the number one, but why would, Rams? I'd have to question you. Why are you signing here if you're not going to be the number one? You're not too much in the England plans. You went to the Euros, but there was injuries. How are you going to get further in that? Playing Premier League, potentially playing on a regular basis, And like you said, Leno wants to cut. So for me, whenever players season in, season out move kind of half-hearted, let's not make them key members of the team as if they're more disposable. If Leno gets rubbed out, and again, if Leno is the better choice, he's the better choice. But if Leno's not as vital to the team, you soften the blow of when he does leave and things like that. So 100%, I back Ramsdale. I feel sorry for Ramsdale, how some of the fans are cheating him to the point where he has to, deactivate or what's it on Instagram where you can clearly only comment if you've got a verified account or if you follow him and things. I think it's harsh. He should be getting nothing but congratulations. And what scares me is a mistake, innit? Everybody makes mistakes, some more than others. It just feels like when he makes that first inevitable mistake, because, it'd be a fallacy to expect him to have 100 million clean sheets. Man, I told you so. I want to be proven wrong. Would I have signed Ramsdale? Probably not, but I want to be proven wrong. I want him to shine, you know. Bro, 30 million can look really cheap, you know. 30 million on if he becomes a certified keeper in a couple of years in whatever, you can say, boy, 30 million well spent. Same with Ben White. 50 million is a big price tag, but if Ben White at 23 is going to give you many years until he's 28 and plus, and he's doing his thing, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Like I said, that's what I want, man. I want them to all prove wrong, man. Because why not? You know, one thing I like about these signings, they provide longevity. You know, Tavares, long-term backup / competition for a man said Leno. For Tierney, you want him to get to a point where he might even keep Tierney out of the team. If everybody's fighting for spots, there's an issue. You want Odegaard to grow. You want Ramsdale to grow. And, you know, the rest of them, Lokonga, I'd probably say Lokonga's the most exciting signing for me. You know, I think he's got a lot. I think the lines are getting blurred with Lokonga. But, yeah, man, I think he's a good player, man. In my opinion. Why is it? I just unfortunately deleted the timestamp, but we're back, man. Like I said, man, the Wolves are out there waiting for him to make a mistake, and it's harsh, man. I think it's dead, man. Afternoon, legend. Hey, DG Nation, how is everyone? Ben, I'm good. I hope you and everyone in your close circle is good as well, man. I think 100 million was a lot 5 years ago, but can't get much for that today. We're in a worse position than United, and look how much they've had to spend. I hear you, but again, 100 million, you could still spend that effectively, you know, 25 per hour. You know, many people would say there's discounts all over Europe. I'm not saying, you know, and again, if these signings work, they work in it, but 100 million in a COVID market, there's deals to be had there, you know. United, man, was saying 100 plus for Sancho. The discount come in, then I say nothing. We're not paying that for Sancho. You can hold this 70. You know, who knows? We might have been able to do things. But for me, if these were the people that have come in, if these are your targets, cool. Just make it work. Because for me, if I hear that you actually want a player, you should already know how I'm going to use him and whatnot. You know, sometimes it's never spoken about, but sometimes you could tell a manager didn't want a player, or it might have been signed without his say so, and then they're playing iffy. You see that all the time. Ironically, this man, when he was signed at 16, bro, you hear Carlo's points. It's more when you have a director of football. We've got a technical director, similarities, but yeah, man. 100 mil isn't that, it don't go that much, but when you spend 100 mil, it's what you get. Them things, they ain't going to change, you know. 50 million is 50 million, you know. Sigurdsson went for 50 million once. I don't even like saying them boy their name for obvious reasons. We have a hell of crop of guys 25 and under. This is what I want next season. I think the team reflects the manager now in young, innovative, and hungry for success, or it should, you know. Ramsdale should be hungry. I want to get in England. I want to play Premier League. I want to shut the fans who criticize me up. Odegaard of the same. Lokonga, I want to play for Belgium. I was on the standby list. It's now time to be 30. Ben White, you was on the standby list. It's now time to be 30. Smith Rowe and Saka, how you growing? Martinelli, how you growing? You know, Ronaldinho's talking about you got ability and them thing there. How you going to make it happen? So at what point do we say, you know, you're right on that. You're right on that. I don't know about the Liverpool thing because I'd have to do my own research, but there's some exciting young players. You know, they don't always have to be the Martinellis and Saka. Even people like Tavares, if you make him 30, you have a decent option in terms of longevity. And let's be real, resale value. Like, I would love Odegaard to become what Real Madrid thought he was and be in a situation where, yeah, he's done a madness for us, but we can make some mad fees on him and reinvest and do the Leicester thing and whatnot. You know, we have to be real. Resale value is a problem. So let's just say everything worked for Arsenal with you know how you just said we got the young players, right? Cycles are typically 3-4 years. Let's just say we've got these young players, you know, within year one, let's just say it's this year to year 4, whenever that would be, 2025. You know, all these players have reached maturity. We've got Champions League football. Hell, it's an example. So we've won the league or something in it. Like, we've done something like that. And they've reached a stage now where we need to rebuild. Naturally, it's a cycle. Certain man might have to leave and we might have to make some difficult decisions. In theory, it should be easier, you know, in a sense of, if Odegaard's actually a good player, which he is, there should be people wanting him. We wouldn't be in a situation that we find ourselves in now where we're having to lie about things to people. We're having to do the cowboy builders and lie about the services and whatnot. How many of you have bought something online and when it arrives, it's something completely different? I know the women out there get that on a regular basis with their clothes. You know, shout out the baby mamas for the haters. You know, these are the sort of things we're having to do. So if this situation where we need to rebuild and sell and all of these things ever arises, you've actually got players who people might actually want. Same way, you know, Joe Willock, whatever you say about him, there's potential there. They wanted him. Saliba, loan. Guendouzi, get the point. Stuttgart, they grabbed Mavropanos with an obligation, so it's basically permanent, much like Guendouzi's. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but you get the point, man. Our team now does reflect the manager, in my opinion, though, man. All the way there yet, but the majority, the core is young, innovative, and hungry, and he's chosen to keep the experienced players who he believes in it, like certain man in the middle of the park. Appreciate everyone locked in, man. You lot getting the creative juices flying. This live stream is flying because of you lot, man. What else you lot saying? I still think we should get Basuma to apply more pressure on current midfield positions. The thing is, I'm not gonna lie to you. I more want to 8 in it. Like you've got Lokonga, you've got Partey. You can have he should be sold, but you can have El Nene for depth for a year if anything gets peak and there's injuries. I don't think we have players that can actually get the ball to Odegaard and all of those sort of things. I don't think we have players that are more technical based. Like I know Partey and Lokonga can pass, but they're not brought to this team to do that, if that makes sense. So I hear the Basuma one. I want the Basuma, but I more want that if it was Basuma and Aouar, I'm going with the Aouar one. You know, I want Basuma, of course, especially when you're seeing things like Partey injured, how much he could be a benefit for us, man. All the flack Ramsdale is getting is just a misdirected anger from how the club is ran. He looks like a good prospect. Exactly, cute. But at the same time, bro, he never done nothing. It's like me. I don't even get mad at Willian again now because obviously I do from a footballing point of view. But it's like better. Runnison is probably the better example. It's like you can see you're not good. Like I'm not saying Ramsdale isn't good, but you can see someone shouldn't be in this position. And I got to the point where I was saying you're not good, and then I thought, you know what? You didn't bring yourself to the club. I almost admire you. You wanted to go and do the Arsenal thing. Why not? I'll back Ramsdale, man. You know, you know what? You know what? He might even become one of my favorite players already. I just, maybe it's because I feel a bit like that. I'm on this Jose Mourinho thing. I feed off hate and things like that. You know, like you saw with that goal. You know, I heard the crowd say the left back shit. So when I scored, why do you think you see me bopping around in the intro? I'm doing that little dance. I'm saying shut the fuck up. I love all of that stuff. So the more man are getting at Ramsdale, the more I want to support him. But like you said, it probably is just misplaced anger. You know, Ben White don't deserve that. 23, moving to Arsenal, Sheffield United, in Ramsdale's case to Arsenal. Now, I'm sure Brighton and Sheffield United, they're calling each other up and say, yo, brother, did Arsenal really give you that? Trust me. What you man saying, though? Yeah, link up. Ace of spades on us, bro. Like, them things there, but it is what it is. That's why, for me, as long as there's a plan, as long as you've done your true due diligence on this footballer, you know Ramsdale's strengths and weaknesses, you know how he ties into that back five unit, and we see less of what we saw against Brentford or the two preseason games before that. What could we say? Suddenly, when you've got, we're going to say we spent 80 million when you've got Ramsdale and Ben White playing, and not through necessarily their fault, we're just looking like a shambles. But if you've got more clarity over what you're doing, then we should have half a thing, man. Arteta probably thinks he's playing Football Manager and looking for the unsackable in the editor. That's a good idea for a show monthly update special. Let me actually write that down so it's just not something we've just said for the sake of it. Monthly Arsenal/PL review show. I don't know why I said Premier League. I didn't even. It was meant to just be Arsenal, but we'll see, man. Why not? And the end of August is next week, so why not? In fact, we've got a game next week. Haven't we, people? Not the weekend. I know we've got City. I swear we've got West Brom or something. So that's 2 watch alongs next week. One love to that. I see you lot commenting now. I feel like I'm doing you lot dirty, but this is definitely Arteta's team. It's Arteta's squad, no doubt. After all this is his team. We would have spent more if we could sell. I feel like Willock has been our biggest sale for ages. Welby must have cost a bit more. All the quality has gone for free. Also true. Odegaard starts at the 10, but drifts off to the right. And that's what I was speaking about in the last stream. So he can help up on that side. Our build-up play on the right-hand side is really non-existent. You've got Pepe, who can be frustrating. Just, he's not the most intelligent of footballers with respect in terms of game IQ. He's a bit hit and miss. He's not helped because people know his strengths. They double up against him. We can't break down a low block. We don't play fast, attacking football and take advantage of vacated spaces. We've got, inconsistent partners at right back. We've got partners who don't want to go forward necessarily. So there's that issue. And, we're very left-hand centric. So, yeah, I think that's an aspect, he'll help on the right-hand side better. I believe that. I believe people underrate Odegaard's work rate. Obviously, he's not no Roy Keane and Vieira and all of those things, but he covers a lot of ground and he puts a shift in. He's more with it than people forget. People think. Obviously, he's not a hard man, but he'll put a shift in. Like, you can't look at him to do it alone, but I do think there's some underrated qualities that people are not giving him credit for, man. Odegaard has a lot of underrated qualities, man. And I can't understand. I keep saying it. Obviously, you can have your criticisms of him, but like, man, I'm moving like we've signed a dud. Like, he's not a dud. This guy's a baller, like, absolute baller, man. I don't think he's gonna. I hope he can. I don't think we're gonna. Same way Villa were talking about Grealish, Leicester talking about, well, I don't want to say his name, but could be talking about Maddison, the ones over there at City, the ones over, Mount. I want to be able to speak about Odegaard among the assist charts and things, but man need to see an attacking system. The tools are there now to at least show a system. I don't think you can achieve fireworks with this team, but the tools are there to at least show a system so that we can say in a month or 2 months, we're not all the way there yet. But when we're talking to our friends or colleagues or workmates or brethrens or brothers and sisters, girlfriends, whatever, they say, what is Arteta's Arsenal? Well, do-do-doof. Like, same way you can say Klopp, heavy metal, intense, Tuchel, free at the back, possession based, counter-attacking and mashing you up. You can probably even see the building blocks at Spurs a bit quicker than us now, really and truly. United, I think it's a vibes thing, but at least you could say it's vibes. What vibes have we got? And at least Odegaard has said, I want to, man said Odegaard. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer even said, I want to play more attacking. So, United, they love attacking football. You're not going to do that. There's question marks. You lot set me off today, aren't you? We're still relying on players like Hecky B, El Sideways, Liability Leno, and Xhaka Khan this season. We won't get any better than 8 for us. You're sending for all of them, man. Most people are catching on with Sambi, but I feel Tavares has gone a bit under the radar. Dude is fighting for us. And I'm sure once he gets a bit more under control, he's going to have some huge moments for us, even as a rotational guy. I can't sit here and lie to you. It's not that I'm concerned. I'm very wary. Obviously, we've signed a lot of left backs. I'm crying for a Monreal again. Monreal is probably better than all our centre halves there as well. We've signed a lot of left backs that are booky and dodgy. And for me, the jury's still out on everyone, but Tavares, the jury's out because I didn't particularly rate you before. I agree with what you're saying. I feel there's something that brings you more of an attraction to him, but it's like anytime, I know the modern day fullback has to go forward. You won't really find too many extreme defensive performances from him. I feel as well what scares me is that, I've said it before in that Arsenal interview, I know fullbacks have to go forward. That's the modern game. But at no point did he highlight, when he's asked his own mobility, he was not asked. I mean, he did not answer anything to do with defending. He didn't say, I'm good 1v1, or even slight tackling. He just said everything is going forward. He said his right foot, he shoots with his right foot more. And to be fair, he backed it up against Rangers, I believe. But that scares me. Now, and I want to see him develop, I don't want him to be a madman that's good going forward, a bit dodgy defensively. But he might be one of those players I feel we've got to accept them for what they are. I'll probably play him in the back three. You back three, you play him as your wing back, you get a bit of wildness there. But I don't want that to be the case. I want him to be a competent defender. As I said, I want him to challenge Bellerin. I want him to challenge Tierney. I want everybody to challenge everyone. Just because, even after a Kroenke, I don't think he's ready for Premier League football. But I want you to challenge Ramsdale and Leno on paper. If everybody's challenging, if everyone has to look behind their shoulder, if everyone's got a sense of a target on their back, then everyone's not going to get complacent. If no one gets complacent, we should have a bit more intensity. If we've got more bit intensity, galvanization, just damn right ready for football games, we might do a bit better in the league. I don't know. BG, what's your prediction for United Southampton? I got United at least slapping 3 past them. Such is life, after a fantastic performance against Leeds, United could probably get slapped. But I mean, I think Southampton are in trouble this season if their strikers don't score consistently. So I would probably say, I'll say 4-1 United. Big up my guy, man. Big up, bro. 3 streams in one day. Keep up the grind. You got to. I really want that 50K, man, on YouTube. And obviously, shout out the Twitch gang. We're trying to get to we're trying to get to 5 to 10,000 long term before the end of the year. But, right now, let's try and get to 2K, man. I honestly think he overcomplicates the instruction. I think he should simplify his plan. Devoted 13. We all get that because it feels definitely where the final third is concerned. It feels a bit too rigid, a bit too static, a bit too. What's the word, man? When you for them backup dances, is it choreographed or something like that? It feels a bit too rehearsed and choreographed, and then a bit too. And you need that healthy bit of randomness. You need that healthy bit of these players' sixth sense. You need to allow relationships to build, man. I think we could build something wavy. I don't think it's amazing, but we've seen now Aubameyang and Lacazette can link up if they're in good form and whatnot. Odegaard and Saka can link up well. You know, Smith Rowe and Odegaard, good players link up well with good players. It don't have to be either or. Again, they need to be brave. They need to address their own mistakes within their own play, but the manager's got to take the handbrake off. And I mean, when he first came in, I swear to God, we had a bit of, it felt like we could attack. It just feels like off the back of last season, man just turned into some anti-football coach. And I don't know if he doesn't rate them, but it is what it is. In a year's time, if we're still in the same position, none are gonna leave. Serious men are gonna leave. Let's be honest, but I can't lie. I'm scared of the day that people just look at it, you know, Saka, Tierney, these sort of guys, Smith Rowe, not anytime soon, such is life, but at some point they're gonna look at it and think, boy, it's looking a bit mad here. I don't really know what's going on here. Like I love the club and whatnot, but I gotta keep it moving, same way a lot of other people did. Someone said they love that one of my tags is American football. That's because on Twitch, bro, there's not too many tabs you can click, you know. That there's not too many tags you can click. What a man's got English football / soccer, sports talk, American football, English and in real life. But I guess you know YouTube don't really make sense, man. But it is what it is. Saka is your Jack / Mount, not Odegaard. It's different when it's someone from your academy, not purchased from Real Madrid. I hear you, Villa, Carl, but I'm more saying that on the basis of they're the talisman, they're the creative, man. They're the, you know, you think of that player, you know what it is. You think of Grealish, mad creative. You think of Mount, you think of to a degree creative. When you think of Odegaard, you do think creative. I think number 10, I think poetry in motion, but he needs to go out there and show that, man. It won't hang around. Exactly. And I can't begrudge them. You got one life to live, man. My support comes at a cost. I ain't one of them, man's facts. You know, I don't just support for my support doesn't mean you lot can just do anything. I don't have an opinion. My support is as long as you lot are Arsenal players, Arsenal manager, whatever, you know, you'll always have my support. You'll always get fair criticism and fair praise. But I have to call it as I see it. I'm not gonna just shout, trust the process. I'm not gonna be ridiculously mad at these players or ridiculously mad at these coaches or players or ridiculously happy. You know, I can only comment what I see. Like I always tell you, look, if I was a weatherman and the sun is shining, why on earth am I going to tell you it's raining? So you come out with a puffer and dead. Likewise, if it's raining, why am I going to tell you it's sunny? You know, there's plenty of platforms for that. My thing can't be that, man. I don't like lying, you know. My opinion is not fact, but I can only say what I feel at the time, man. 25 for Aouar, 20 for Sabitzer. To be fair, Sabitzer wants Bayern Munich. Aouar, I agree. Andre Silva, give me one more hot season because he goes through these little hot streaks. Oh, Nana, for that price, you can't go wrong. I assume you're talking about Emerson Royal. We could have done a thing, you know. Nana can't play though. If something happens to Leno, Nana can't play. So I understand leaving the Nana one and potentially revisiting it because he can't play. If something happens to Leno in training today, yeah, you can have Onana, but he's gonna be like us. He might as well join me for my watch alongs because he can't help us until at least November and that. Obviously, it's a different story something else happens. I like Onana. I do think he's shaky. One thing I would say is that I could whether he's better than Ramsdale, Ramsdale's better than him. When I look at Onana, I think of being able to play with a ball at his feet. So I can kind of understand it. You know, you want to play out the back, all of these sort of things. I hope these young English players we got, you know, understand what Arsenal's about, all the core, all of that sort of stuff as well. Same way. Well, see some very interesting comments, man. We need that new FM content. Hey, man. When is their time though? Tomorrow's mad because I got a couple of Chelsea live streams. Saturday, probably get a watch along. Might do a live stream. Might do some FM content. For Sunday, we've got that. We might be looking at Monday still. Make sure you lot are checking your Twitch streams. That's one thing I put on my goals for this season. I need to better schedule things. No, I can't lie. I want Odegaard to play Partey's partner more than a 10. Same, man, but he's got to be taught how to play as an 8 now. Arteta was a midfielder. You'd probably back him to do that, but will he is another thing. Only time will tell. Why are people chatting about Aouar? Are there any creditable links this season? I can't lie. The same old journalists say, "Oh, we're in for Aouar. Tottenham are in for Aouar. No bids have been placed. He's open to leaving, and all of these things." So there's them links, but that sets me up perfectly. I don't know how legit these things are, my guy, but we've heard Spurs are interested. You do hear neither team's made an offer. It just seems that informal talks. But in relation to the papers, Tottenham are set to move for Lyon playmaker Hossam Aouar, who has been made available. Now, as we spoke about yesterday, allegedly he's been put on the transfer list. Apparently, it clears the way for Spurs to bring in. People. The North Londoners have been handed a boost with rivals Arsenal sealing a 30 million deal with Real Madrid to sign Norwegian Martin Odegaard. It leaves the way. Man. It leaves the way clear for Spurs to bring in Aouar, the 23-year-old creator who remains highly rated by a number of Premier League clubs. So, there's no credible links. It seems like getting 2 and 2 together, and my man's thought, you know what, let me put a little article together and move mad. We know he's allegedly allowed to leave, and I must admit, you actually haven't heard there's too many offers. Now, is he been dealt a poor hand in that? People are looking at Pogba, people are looking at Camavinga, people are looking at a couple other midfielders, but this is a man who badded up City and Pep was onto him. We heard Juventus who went for Locatelli. Obviously, Locatelli was flavour of the month as well. Why Arsenal and Spurs haven't made offers, I don't know. Is there other priorities and whatnot? But I don't know. I don't know, people. I really don't know why there's been a lack of offers. Is there something concerning with him? I don't know. But that's what that said. You look at this. Tottenham are now trying to sign Hossam Aouar after repeated Arsenal links. He was a major target for Arsenal last summer, blah, blah, blah. 12 months later, the Gunners have still been considering Aouar as an additional reinforcement. A recent report suggested Arsenal would revisit him as a last resort option if they failed to sign James Maddison or Odegaard this month. Again, he can play in the same team with them. He can play in a midfield pivot, but do we see him as a creative man? I don't. He's more an 8.5. Apparently still made available. As we know, Lyon want to sell him. His contract's running down and things like that. Apparently, once upon a time, we did try to grab Aouar this window on loan with an obligation to buy, which could be a very smart way of putting stuff. Personally, I believe 25 million for Aouar, 30 odd for Odegaard, 50 odd million. I think we could do a lot worse. I think we have spunked a lot worse in terms of what we've done with our finances. But it is what it is. He's got 2 years left. So who knows, man? Again, it's a World Cup year, so there is actually a benefit in staying at Lyon, but they want to move man on. Apparently, people are allowed to leave. They've even dropped the asking price. So it is what it is. If we look at this report, let me actually close some of this because I'm confusing myself. Tottenham set to move for Hossam Aouar as Arsenal strike Martin Odegaard agreement. So it's more or less the same thing. We've agreed with Odegaard, so it looks like we're not going for him. Hopefully, we do go back for Aouar, I really do. It says that we've been long-term admirers for Aouar. He's now available for a cut price. It just feels like when it's so obvious, we can't do it, man. He's highly rated by a lot of Premier League clubs. There's a long way to go in the market, I would say. So maybe we just need to take time and be calm. But it doesn't appear that apart from that we're ready in a move. Anything can happen. And it seems like there's too much of a degree of calmness. So maybe there's something more to the story, if I'm completely honest. So let's see. Hopefully it ends with him coming to Arsenal. If not, then we have to call him overrated and whatnot, sadly. Such is the life of agendas, man. And just want stat padders. You can't blame them. I do too. I want a mixture. I want a system and I want some stat padders. Like if the midfield was addressed and you could grab me a Bruno who's bringing double figures in, I'm on it. Aouar has been said he doesn't want to go to Spurs. Did he not? Or was that just speculation? I don't know. You're going to have to point me in the right direction for that, man. Man said, Deluded Gooner out. What did I do, man? Not sure if you answered this question, DG, but what would your ideal rest of the window? I mean, I kind of just said it, I'd be getting Aouar. If you can bring in a right back, what right back? I don't know. But I'd say at this point, I'd be more happy if you get rid of some players, man. Like, I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting a madness, but there's still too many players where, if we sat down and writ how many players are still on the books, how many players would shock us that they're still getting paid wages by Arsenal? So, bit of a move there, man. Pardon me. Pardon me. My biggest critic to KSE beyond the obvious is how the club is run from the top. Facts. So many people have left, but I can't see a clear structure. Facts. Can't see what the ambition is on the pitch. You kind of answered it. When you can't see your ambition off the field, how can you see it on it? Arsenal have been, because of what we're doing off the field, has directly affected what we're doing on the field. How we've been performing on the field affects us off it. Because we're not performing, you're not getting Champions League, you're not doing all these things. It makes our transfer window a bit more techie. And obviously, somewhere along the line, finances have been hit, are gonna be hit. And as you said, crucially there, there's been different, whatever you say about Wenger, Glazides, Mislintat, Raul Sanye, Una Emre, they're different names and different people. The one variable have been the KSC and the lack of clarity of what Arsenal's mission is beyond buzzwords, beyond fancy PR statements and the rest of it. You're 100% correct in that regards, man. I can't see where Arsenal are heading and who is the leader from the top. If Edu and Arteta get sacked, what is plan B? What even is plan A? There's too much uncertainty at Arsenal, and that's down to the owner and the lack of ambition. Someone give this man the check, man. He's speaking facts, and more, and there's nothing else to add there, man. If El Nene goes out on loan without an extension, do we move to bring in a player on loan or buy a replacement knowing that he's out of contract? I mean, you need to address the midfield anyways, but if you're not going to sell El Nene, I understand it. If you can't sell him, you loan him out, they pay his wages, you get a little loan fee, cool. He cost a couple of mil. We've probably made our money back on El Nene and whatnot in that regards. He's been on a loan spell and whatnot. But for me, if you're going to mess around like that, you might as well just keep him. He's happy to sit on the bench as much as you can. If something happens, whether I rate Nene or not, you've got some depth there. So if you're not going to move him on, you might as well just keep it clipping, man. Come on, check out the DG merch. One love to Tans for getting on that. Shout all the members and whatnot. Any update on Gabriel's return from injury? Not that I know of. Apparently he's targeting September last time I saw on Arsenal.com. I'm sure we read that out. So I don't know, man. Don't have a clue, really. If Aouar goes to Spurs, I might just cry. I already cried tears over Ndombele. No, I'm joking. I was vexed when Ndombele went there. And I can't lie, man. Big up Aouar. But if you do that to me, I really hope you flop for them, man. I don't like to be bad, man, but I love Aouar as a footballer. Sorry, folks. Yeah. Sorry, folks. There we go. I wish it was that easy, man. To be fair, we'd probably see the same Ndombele because the manager's not really on this, man. We need someone to link play in the middle of the park. That's why I want an 8. And obviously, I want someone who could score, but I would take someone who might not be able to build play like Bruno continuously to that level, but he scores. Or if someone doesn't necessarily score, but they can control the game, they provoke situations like that. I'm all for it, man. It's too late to address. Sorry, you said, I also think right back should be a priority before the window closes. Amen. It's too late to address the striker issue with Laka being out of contract soon and Aubameyang goal drought. This should have been addressed earlier in the window, in my opinion. Mr. 992, give this man a check. He's spitting facts. Nothing to add on to that. Appreciate that. 25 for Aouar is an absolute no-brainer. Facts. And I mean, didn't we hear we agreed personal terms with him, man? Do you think Sambi can play the 8 role, give him more chances on the pitch? He can play 8. It's not going to be the 8 I want. You're more of a up and down box to box 8. You're not. You're a ball winner. You're a ball winning midfielder. You're a box to box man. You can pass the ball forward, but your primary job, I'm not looking at you to cut defenses open, which I need from my number 8. I want a number 8 who is better closer there than elsewhere. I mean, Sambi can pass, but it's not him, man. I wouldn't say necessarily to replace Aubameyang, because I have my concerns over Martial as much as I like him, but I'd definitely take Martial at Arsenal. That's who Arsenal should have been going for instead of Mkhitaryan in that little swap deal where both of us got 3 players, and then you saw how expensive it proves to be for everyone, people. You know, it's a mad world there. But it is what it is, man. Such is life. One love to everybody tuned in and things like that as well, people. Make sure you're following and all of those good things. Appreciate you, Escobars, man. What else have we got? Don't think anyone said anything else. We're good. You see the results of that poll. Oh, I already did see. I'm bugging out. Let me see where Arsenal's concerned. Have we announced Odegaard and them sort of guys yet? You know, is it even going to happen today? Medicals are still being done and all of these sort of things. Apparently, Sheffield United have confirmed the impending sale. Let me go on. Sheffield United. I mean, I know the manager spoke about it yesterday, but them confirming it is a completely different thing. Let me go on their website, people, and check that this has been done. They're talking about Luton away. There's nothing here about Aaron Ramsdale. Fair enough. You know, I'm not going to waste my time there. Nothing there about Aaron Ramsdale. We should have, after all this is his team, we should have a style of play. I think I answered that already. Nobody wants rotating managers. Why not? I feel like we're eating propaganda. What's wrong with the Chelsea model for success? There isn't anything wrong. And I feel Chelsea fans are not, I'd probably say they wouldn't be happy at the merry-go-round they have, but it's completely different. We don't have the money they have. We haven't got the individuals from top to bottom. You know, Roman Abramovich wants to win leagues and do things. So Marina, Czech, all these guys can't F about. You know, they've actually got they're actually making their functional academy system and getting top money. So it's completely different. And obviously, when you've got money, you can afford to make these expensive mistakes. I'm not saying that as a reason to keep Arteta. If you're not doing your job, whether that's Arteta, Emre, or Wenger, you need to go. But at the same time, you know, we're in a difficult position until the owner goes. New managers are coming in, and whether we rate them or not, whether they make mistakes or not, the same thing is going to happen. I don't think anybody's eating propaganda. I just feel people don't want to be a revolving door of a football club, but it's defo legit. Why not try our luck with Conte / Zidane? Not saying they'd come, but at least try. Again, kind of goes back to what I'm saying. Again, they're gonna get annoyed. Like, they're gonna get annoyed and keep it moving, man. Have you touched on Lewandowski wanting a new challenge? I mean, if that we kind of indirectly did, but that's a good, you know, who's going to buy him at 32? What outlay do they want? And for me, Bayern Munich, 2 weeks to go to the window closes. Unless man's getting Haaland, what they've been linked with, I'm not selling Lewandowski. You know, you should have been doing that earlier in the summer. You know, you want to join Alaba at Real Madrid, you do that next year or something like that. It's too late. But I mean, spare a thought for Kane, innit? Messi already messed up the market. Lewandowski's on the market. Vlahovic, everybody and their nan wants him. You know, Lewandowski's a great player. I wonder if, you know, the law of the Premier League could be something for whatever reason, depending on who buys him. You know, Chelsea needed a striker, wouldn't provide much in terms of longevity, makes up with that with ability, man. So, yeah, man. Bro, Hugh is my guy. Like, the collabs will happen, but don't watch that. But I appreciate you for taking in my streams and whatnot. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you did, man. I can see Ramsdale taking Leno's spot by November, hopefully. Odegaard probably announced tomorrow. Are you concerned with Aubameyang's sudden lack of form? Is it sudden though? It's been prolonged. Of course I am. The more he doesn't score, the more you get concerned. But I'm backing my captain, man. I know he's gonna get back to goal scoring, man. Discord, of course, is loading. Very interesting comments, folks. One love to everyone who's been on that case. Pardon me. Not gonna lie, Ramsdale was a scrub. That's harsh, man. United AD. But he just gotta want to prove people wrong, man. He's got to have that clarity in his mind and know that, listen, football is a funny old game of opinions. Everyone and their nan can think I'm rubbish. Clearly, someone at the club, rightly or wrongly, thought I was good. So that's all that needs to matter. And now let me prove people wrong, man. And you can already see, look at these twats, bro. Look at these twats. And I'm saying Aaron Ramsdale bombarded with vile abuse by pathetic Arsenal fans. It's not all of us, but 100% it is. See, this is how you get wrapped up in stuff. What's going on here? Let me show you, people. I'm just clicking this link. Should we look at this quickly, people? We might as well. 1 sec, people. Let me put a timestamp. It's completely irrelevant, but looks fair. It looks fairly interesting. Big law on. Oh, need the caps. Big law on Alexis/Mickey. Bro, you gotta speak to Tino, man. I don't really know the how the Discord thing works. So shout out to Tino, man. He's part of the admin team and the technical smart guy team. Do you think protesting on Sunday is a good idea? Yeah, it's always a good idea. I think fans should never, I feel there's a catch-22 with football. It's like when man want to give their positive vibes about clubs, they can scream and shout as much, you can scream and shout as much as you want. When it's negative, like I said, I'm not talking about the negative, the sort of stuff, the meltdowns and the carrying on. When it's just people being sane and having not nice things to say, I think you need it because I think Arsenal live in a bubble. They think everything's positive when it's not. Fans should always be allowed an opinion. Do I feel sorry for the players that they might have to deal with this on the eve of that? 100%. But at the same time, it's nothing to do with the players. You should be able to air it. It's the fans' beef with the owners. You lot, your job is to focus on Chelsea. I don't want to hear no excuses from them in that regards, people, if I'm completely honest with you. So it's one of them ones I would say. If I share my screen with you lot, hopefully, there's no issues in that regards. But as you lot can see here, ex-Arsenal transfer chief Dick Law opens up on their infamous Henrik Mkhitaryan swap deal and how Mino Raiola leveraged the whole transaction. We were just speaking about this, how everybody got conned. He was left astounded when he heard how much United were paying Alexis Sanchez and his agent after the Gunners agreed to a swap deal for Mkhitaryan. Scrolling all the way down, people. People only hate Mino Raiola. The footballing world, you got to realize it, yeah? People only hate Mino Raiola because he doesn't take no shit and he gets good jobs. He gets good things for his clients and they have to pay, This is one of them. It's one of them ones, really and truly. Apparently, he said when explaining how he leveraged the whole transaction. Let me scroll the way down. He said, I think first of all, it comes down to the evaluation of the player. Every player thinks their pony is the prettiest one, to be fair. Sanchez was willing to go to United and Mkhitaryan wanted to go to Arsenal. That's how it worked out. The third issue would have been the player negotiations and agent commissions. We were astounded when we heard what United paid to the player and the agent. According to a German magazine, Sanchez ended up earning a whopping 391 a week, when at United picking up a 6.7 million signing on fee. Raw. While Mkhitaryan earned 144 a week at the Emirates and had an 8.5 loyalty bonus on top of that. That's even before Mino Raiola was paid a penny. It's understood he was left to deal with Mino Raiola in trying to sort out exactly where Mkhitaryan stood while the clubs negotiated the transfers for the two players. Sanchez desperately wanted to leave the Emirates, and Law insists it was clear that anywhere but Arsenal was fine for the player, which saw Mino Raiola take full advantage, with the deal being driven by United's desire to acquire Sanchez. It came down to the worst possible denominator, and that was Mino Raiola. And let me say, I like Mino. I can work with Mino all day and long. He's a top professional, but he understands leverage. That's why the footballing world hates him, This is why they hate him, because he doesn't take shit. He gets himself paid, but he gets his players paid. If Mino Raiola was, I don't know, a technical director, like in Edu's place, people would praise him. He'd probably do a better job than Edu. United, for whatever reason, left Mino as the fine last piece of the puzzle. You can imagine the leverage Mino had, knowing that Alexis was the crucial element of the deal. And I think that's how he managed the whole transaction. As you don't know, ultimately, it didn't work out. So, yeah, man. Didn't work out, did it, for either party? I think we got the better end of the stick with Mkhitaryan, but dead, man. Absolutely dead. So it is what it is. You wear the badge with pride, then you get my full support. Fair enough. We need a voice at the back. Ramsdale knows what it's about, so he needs to become that vocal leader by God's grace. Yeah, why are man abusing the youth just there to play? Not wanting him is okay, but abusing him is too much. Facts, man. Discord would be live. I can help set up. I'm a mod on YouTube. Name is TW. Hit there. All right, big up TW. Why don't you lot have some consistent? You lot ask Arsenal for consistency, but you lot call your Twitch name and your YouTube name completely different. I think I'm talking to new people. You're the same duns, man. Catfishing and that. Why not, man? Mino talks so much worse on his client's behalf too. Exactly, bro. I would rather want Mino because I know it's easier said than done, but a couple of these players at Arsenal allegedly want moves away. If Mino is Xhaka's agent, if Mino is Bellerin's agent, if he's Lacazette's agent, he's not Superman, but I think their situations might change. People only don't like Mino and all of these guys in the footballing world because they get the best deals for their clients and they're tough for clubs to deal with. Clubs are used to having their own way and pushing man over. That's why they don't like him. If he was a pussy, oh, pardon my language, and he wasn't on nothing, he would be the best agent in the world. I know there's agents that are difficult. I know he can be difficult, but I'm sure he's no more difficult than a football club. I'm sure he's no more difficult than Daniel Levy with City trying to deal with him and get people gone. And just as you said that, if Mino was Kane's agent, he'd be at City by now. Exactly. Man said, when DG breaks into the agent scene, it's long for every club. Going to have Xhaka on 300K a week. I would love to be in the agent game. Someone needs to sign me up. I'll pay for my license and do it. But someone needs to bust me. It's the wild, wild west. Do you know how many young players, it's like a shark. Like, let's just say, not that this is him, it's happened to him, but let's just say I've known Jude Bellingham since he's 10 years of age. I've known his family. I'm his agent for his 14 to 16. The minute he gets in the under 18s, becomes 18, Dortmund are onto him, bro. Them agents, them players, they are ruthless as well. They leave their agents, And then the bigger boys, the USMs, Rock Nation, USM, Base, what's the one with Eddie and that, man? Elite Sport. When these guys come calling, hell of these players bust out. Agents are shark world. There's drillers out there. A couple man have been given phone calls, advice to leave players alone or it's going to get sticky. We know where you live and all of that, man. It's fully about who you know. Like life, man. It's about who you know still. Mino is a G. He knows how to make money, love or hate. You have to respect his hustle. Facts and more facts. You have to respect the hustle, man. They don't like him because he can't, You lot want to make bread. I want to make bread. It's one of them ones. Nice not having any ads today, by the way, DG. Bro, you gotta take that up with Twitch. Yeah, the buttons are still being pressed. But yeah, man. Cold coffee, this is horrible, but I'm gonna back it. Firm that. Ugh! Lord Jesus Christ. Oh God. But yeah, moving forward, man. Hey, getting white lights and that, man. That effed me up. You can have multiple channels, so like a general chat where the whole community can chat, and then there will be other chats for various things like post DG's clips, FPL talk. Hey, Tino, you sound like you know what you're doing, man. I understand he was getting peppered, but I don't think many people realize Ramsdale was third and second in the entire Premier League for saves in his last Premier League seasons. I hear that, but I swear there was a time Leno had stats like that, and we were saying, he's not really getting the clean sheets to match. So I'm not going to read too much into it, but there's no smoke without fire. That's definitely something to consider. Fully right in that regards, man. Make sure you're following and subscribing and whatnot, not only on Twitch, but also YouTube, folks. DG podcast out tomorrow as well as, we're going to start to begin our moves towards previewing the Chelsea and Arsenal game. For all my members on YouTube, Q&A probably tomorrow, TBC on the time. If not, definitely Saturday, because obviously I'm trying to get 1-2 bits of content done with other people. So, there's only 24 hours in a day, but you'll get that, man. Free at the back, DG. Keep things a little safe till we get some momentum. 100%. Like I said it in the second. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I wasn't saying back three going into Brentford, but definitely on my watch along halftime, I said, you know what, for that next 45 minutes for Chelsea and for City, back three, just keep moving with that. Thoughts on Rafa Mir? Atletico Madrid originally made a move for him, and now he's going to Sevilla from Wolves. He had a good season in La Liga last year. You know, my boy, who's a Tottenham fan, who watches a lot of La Liga, he was always saying, yo, what's Wolves doing? Especially with what happened with him and Nez. Why aren't they using him? I don't know too much in that regards, but yeah, man, he's a decent player. He's had a good season, and yeah, he's probably earned a move off that. And I'm sure Wolves have made a pretty penny. I don't know why Wolves haven't given him an opportunity, but they've not, man. Probably because he's facing more shots. Yeah, because I remember Leno had them ones there. And Discord will send you live notifications for when DG goes lives on YouTube and Twitch. Just have to set it up a bit, but it's pretty easy to do. Shout out Tino, man. You know I'm gonna be shifting that one onto you, bro. I don't know about no tech, but shout out to Tino. When DG Nation blows, you see Robin, Tans, AM. Who else is there? Prince Teddy. You lot, we need to have an office and we come in and we discuss or we FaceTime or whatever. You lot are part of the DG clique and whatnot, man. Skyter as well, can't forget him. Big reason you see, well, you don't see them in the Arsenal ones, but for those of you that follow my Twitch watch alongs, you see a score sheet, a scoreboard now. And listen, shout out Skyter because you know that was a mazza. You know, we went through a lot just trying to get that to work, man. Bare screenshots and things like that. I see someone talking about Lucas Torreira. Let me see what's going on there with Torreira. Right. Mad thing. All right, we'll start my timestamp, people. I think I hear my door, so I'm going to be right back, people, still. I don't know who's delivering what, but I'm coming right back.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
I ain't taking no package. I ain't taking no package for my neighbors. Fuck all that. They don't take mine. Fuck that. They don't take my packages. One love to everyone who stayed. I can't lie, man. It's not even my package. I ain't taking that. I asked what door number, and I don't know half nothing, but the door number who they said they don't take my packages. So fuck them, man. I ain't taking their shit. Fuck that, man. Their package is gone. They should have stayed in their yard. Is what it is. DG with the finesse shot in his locker. Hey, man, a broken clock is right twice a day, man. When you try 10 million shots, you're going to get things right. Do you know how many times I've actually hit the post? I should really send the videos from my phone, but I think this one might show you. Talk to the answer machine. Yo, Frisco, pass the machine. Move from me. It's an animal thing. It's an oi crossbar. Aye. We're loading. Grrr. Get me loading. You get me? You know, people just see the shots. You know, people just see the shots you score. They don't see the shots you miss. But yeah, man. From that little clip, you seem like a right-footed Pepe. I don't think that, man. Neighbors get what they pay for. Trust me. You man gotta hold it up. I should have checked it and said, no, I never got nothing. Hey man, that's back in the day, man. No, I take some neighbors, but certain, if you don't keep it true, what am I taking your thing for? Lucas put up a story with him back in London. I've been seeing that. I can't lie. You lot, I've said it before. I'm tired of the name Lucas Torreira. On ability, love the man. I love Torreira. I really do love Torreira. He was someone I wanted before he signed for Arsenal. You can still see my videos for him at Sampdoria. I love Lucas Torreira as a footballer. There was a point Lucas Torreira could pass the ball 5 yards. I'd scream, no one else can do it like that little Uruguayan magician. It's baffling what's happened to him at Arsenal. I know, obviously, sadly, he's lost his mom. There's been homesickness and things, but I haven't seen a player. Like, if it was a stock, it was like that. Like, it just went from holding it up as a defensive mid or whatever some false tenting under Emre. You was playing for a bit under Arteta. It went down. You went to Atletico, stunk up the place, and I thought that system was perfect. So now I'm looking at you like, what aren't you doing now? Because you had your fellow South American, you had the country off the field, you had everything. And the only time I've heard about Torreira is when he's talking in the press. And I just think he's a nuisance, in a sense of I think he behaves himself, but man have to pull their pants up. Like I said, for anyone that doesn't understand, with respect to what's happened with his mum, unfortunately, condolences. Prior to that, he was always talking about, I want to go to Italy, I want to go to France, my agent, this. Whether offers have been there or not, we hear Roma now. I don't blame Arteta for saying, you know what, fuck you. I think he can play. I think he can have a spot in this team, but I understand it. We need players that want to be here. Torreira might be here, hold it up for 4 months or whatever, and then, in January, I'm feeling sorry, I want to go yard and that. We ain't got time for that. We haven't got time for it. So as much as I like Torreira, I still think he's quality. It's a bit of a shame how it's worked out. He's got to keep it moving, really, man. Shout out to Football.London and Chris Wheatley. Arsenal midfielder set for Italy move as Mikel Arteta makes transfer decision. Now, for me, you are hearing a lot of Torreira, Bellerin, and what's his face? Maitland-Niles in particular. These 3 players are players we'll see a bit more movement. There's even rumours Lacazette goes, but I don't know anything, man. But moving away from that, the Uruguayan international returned to Italy after being told he is not in Arteta's plans this season. So obviously he'll train at the club, use the facilities as his move is being dealt with. And again, what the journalists are saying, what's facts, you never know. But, you look at Holding. Holding at one point, he was going to get sold/loaned. He's made himself an important part under Mikel Arteta. Torreira's been told he's not part of Mikel Arteta's plans for the coming season. Football.London understands. We know he joined. We know he did his thing. We know he loaned out. He won the league title, ironically. He played 26 times. Someone just list the game he played amazing in. I can't. And I was doing loan reports and that. Someone list the game he played amazing in for Atletico. Someone type in Torreira, Atletico Madrid. Show me where praise of a performance is coming up. It's going to be what's going wrong. Why isn't he playing and things? Anyways, his agent Pablo Bentancur has spoken publicly about him wanting to return to Italy. And let's be honest, your agent, sometimes agents talk mad, but your agent or your dad or whoever acts beyond, they're not going to say these things without your blessing or without echoing what you think. So as much as I criticize Arteta, as much as I think there can be a job for Torreira, I get it. I wanted Guendouzi to stay. I understand it can be a headache. Keep it moving. I wanted Saliba to stay, and I'm still vexed about that. If you're not going to use him, don't understand when you got people like Marie. Cool, he's gone out alone. Torreira, cool. Let's move it out. Because again, that's one less player that's in the halfway house. There's reasons for you to stay. There's reasons for you to go. I would love him to get an opportunity, especially with Partey's temporary injury. And, I rate Basuma. But if Torreira could plug in a gap of that, then we've got money to go for a more expensive one. But anyways, people, Football.London has learned that the midfielder had earlier expressed his desire to compete for a place in Arsenal midfield, but was informed he was not part of Mikel Arteta's plans for the new season. Roma and Lazio are both interested in signing the former Sampdoria man on loan, although a decision has not yet been made on which club he will join. Obviously, we sympathize with him, obviously looking for a psychologist and dealing with things. And, he did talk a lot. Again, some of it's legit, but for me, I have to question your commitment. And obviously, RIP his mum for obvious reasons, but I understand it personally. I get it, man, because man ain't got time for this sort of stuff. Like, our club is a myth, really and truly. As you lot can see here, he's back in training and all of those sort of things. So I have to see. Hopefully, we could use him as a make weight in a deal. I do want to see the futures of Hector Bellerin, him, Bellerin, Willian, all of these guys. You want to see some significant progress. My guess is I think he's going to leave on loan with an option to buy. As I said, he barely had a good season for Atletico in a season that, in a team, that everything was supposed to be set up. So I don't think anyone's going to commit an outlay. What I hope is that, wherever he goes on loan, there's an obligation to buy or they are tempted to buy him. And obviously, he's not got too long left on his contract. Between Mkhitaryan, Saliba, Leno, decisions have to be made from now until probably next season on them. And I hope they are being done, if I'm completely honest with you. But that's Torreira, innit? Wants to stay at Arsenal. But Arteta says no. And obviously, this Twitch video will be out 24 hours from 3 p.m. tomorrow. So Friday, those of you that are just tuned in, you're living. I've got another one from yesterday that's supposed to be uploaded. The work rate's crazy, man. Deserve a medal. Deserve to be on the Football Blacklist Award. I hear they're open to nominations, people. Hint, hint, hint. Go and do up that one. Even though forget awards and that, man. Facts, he didn't make any noise. Bro, didn't know he played for Atletico. You man are doing him dirty, man. I think it's his wifey that don't want to be in England. Brother, at this point, I hear you. Girl, personal issues, all of these things. I sympathize with the whole mum business and feeling lonely, but away from that, I don't care no more, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Arsenal at 8. I don't fuck everybody's feelings. Like, leave all of that stuff at the door. If you're with this thing, be with this thing. And to be fair, he said he's on it, but I get it with Arteta, bro. Them and they are volatile. Very volatile. It does feel, to play devil's advocate, away from the obvious as to why Xhaka plays and Arteta likes him. It comes down to Arteta clearly thinks you're a good footballer. You know, Xhaka wanted to bust out. Xhaka was flirting. Xhaka said, I want to dip. Xhaka's been rewarded with a captaincy and a new deal. Torreira, you know, I don't think he's a bad player. I don't feel, you know, I can understand it because Xhaka's got different qualities, you know, to him. Like to play devil's advocate, is it one rule for one and the next rule for the next man? Something we've been saying? I don't know, people. I'll leave you lot to solve that or give me your opinions, man. What's happening, DG? The Ramsdale deal is a bit random to me still. I'd have thought someone like Keylor Navas would have provided much needed experience. I hear it, but there's not too much in longevity. Not to say that that's an excuse. I'm just putting myself in the fans' point of view and in the club's point of view and saying why they're going for someone younger. I'm not the biggest Keylor Navas fan, but it could be elite. DG, the right-footed Robin. When I go Power League and my friends are asking me why I'm not passing the ball, you lot know why. You know, you lot know why. You lot are gassing me. You lot are making me going to do things above my pay grade. I already do. They hate playing about Power League, man. Just try hella skills and pass the ball. And Halligan needs a loan. To be fair with you, he looks raw. And I mean, he's going to be out of his comfort zone. I wouldn't mind him going out on loan, playing consistent football after signing a new deal, coming back stronger. You know, equally, if you're going to give him opportunities, the occasional start 10, 20, 45, 30 and all these things, why not? But there's a lot of football to be played, but there isn't many games for us to play. And then you've got Martinelli, you've got Balogun, you've got Laka, you've got Aubameyang. I know people can play in other roles and injuries and all these things, but it's gazy, man. Tilo kills me. Got rid of Emmy for Ramsdale. That's a bit harsh, Hot Sugar. It's not exactly like that, but I understand the frustration. And I think, you know, you hear rumors that Martinez said, you know what, I'm leaving. You know, you hear rumors with Martinez over finances of a contract, over he wanted to be the undoubted number one. My opinion is I've seen this man fighting for 10 years. He's finally got a hold of the Arsenal shirt. I don't think he's leaving unless it's made abundantly clear. Leno's my number one. You can't really do much to dislodge him. If it's a fair fight, a man say whoever grabs the shirt and holds on to it plays, I think Martinez stays and we're not in this situation. I don't want to keep talking about Martinez, but I understand the frustration because it's very reactive. You know, trying to sell Maitland-Niles now where you could have grabbed the 20 last year, the Martinez thing, and there's plenty of other examples of of similar things like that. So it's a gazy one, man. It's an absolute gazy one. I hear it though. I really do. Man, say get a new thing. This thing is killing me, man. You lot are killing me with some of the things you lot say, man. Hey, man, I told you that I prefer Twitch, man. Time is flying, people. You know, sometimes on YouTube you watch the clock. Time is flying. One love to everyone who's hit the follow button. You know, we're at 1.7 followers. We're soon closing on 1.8. You know, my maths is poor, but that's about 20 odd people need to do up that. And we're at 1.8, moving closer to 2 bags. So, yeah, man, I can't lie, though. On that topic, though, there's nothing more to speak about. We've spoken about Arsenal. We've talked about a couple of topics. I'm going to get out of here and leave you lot to enjoy the rest of your evening. You know, if I lost where my trailer for. If, obviously, Odegaard and Ramsdale or whatever, there's some announcements, then you'll either see a video or live stream over on YouTube. Tomorrow, I'm just letting you lot know. Obviously, the YouTube streams are going to be there, but I'm going to have Matisse on Twitch from 11 a.m. So if you want to hear the Chelsea versus Arsenal stuff, make sure you're there. I think I'm going to have Monster at 5 p.m. 2 Chelsea fans, obviously, to talk about the game. So they will be live on Twitch. You know, I have to wait 24 hours. So if you miss them live streams they will come out on, obviously, Saturday. So, yeah. As I said, no other live streams planned, my guy. But obviously, if we see some confirmation, why not? Pardon me. I would stream FM, but I've got to be somewhere, really. So it is what it is, man. I'm going to leave you lot. You lot enjoy the rest of your day and whatnot. It's been fantastic. Shout out to Twitch gang.
because he always used to act when defending.
I think it's like.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Still the foot.